Hi, I decided to cut my hair, which is actually a pretty big deal for me because I've been trying to grow it long for the past 6 years. This is my hair story. So let's start at the very beginning. In October 2013, I started my hair journey. My hair was extremely damaged, and this was a result of years of neglect, no trimming or maintenance, and a very bad habit of constantly splitting and picking at my ends. My dream was long, thick, glossy hair with thick ends that reached my waist, and this would be my obsession for the next 6 years. But I didn't want to have to lose any length by starting again with a fresh cut. Should have done it. See, I love having long hair. I've had long hair pretty much all my life. Long hair is my identity. It's what I believe makes me pretty. I could never go short, it just wouldn't be me. So I had a plan. I would trim just 1 centimeter of my hair every month. And by using this concept of a little and often, I would be getting regular trims without having to lose a large amount of length all in one go. I was a genius, right? And this worked well to begin with. After about a year of regular trims, my hair had improved. And that was when I started to document my progress every month on YouTube. And 1 year after that, I reached my goal of waist length. But it didn't look how I was expecting it to. It was nowhere near my dream hair that I'd obsessed over for so long. Though I'd reached my goal length, I hadn't reached my goal quality. It was incredibly thin, dry, uneven at the back, and wispy. It seems the 1 centimeter trims just weren't enough. What it needed was a cut. But I just worked on my hair for 2 whole years. I couldn't bear to lose the length I'd worked so patiently to grow. So I left it for a while, and I enjoyed having my waist-length hair. Over the following year, my old habit of splitting and picking at my ends did return a little bit, though not as bad as before. But anyway, my hair once again became thinner and thinner. I was downhearted. I'd spent years following every hair care secret I could think of. The inversion method, oil treatments, massages, using natural shampoos and conditioners, avoiding heat tools, never colouring or bleaching, always brushing gently and never when wet, gentle drying methods, using a wooden hairbrush for better oil distribution, trying folic acid, trying biotin, trying hair growth supplements, always wearing protective hairstyles while sleeping, using a satin pillowcase, and I'm sure there's so many other things I tried, yet my efforts and patience hadn't paid off. And I didn't understand why my hair wasn't soft and shiny and manageable like so many other girls I saw, who surely weren't putting in as much effort and energy as I was. It was frustrating. That was when I decided enough was enough. I'd tried the natural approach to my dream hair and it hadn't worked. My thoughts were, if my hair isn't going to look good even by taking all this care of it, I may as well use the damaging methods if it meant that my hair would look nicer. I did some research and I decided I was going to get the Brazilian keratin permanent straightening treatment. So for my 21st birthday, I treated myself and I got the treatment. The results were flawless. I was in love with my hair. Finally, I had the perfect Instagram hair that I had lusted after for so many years. But when the effects wore off after about 2 to 4 months, my hair slowly but surely returned to normal and the ends had really suffered. After another year had gone by, it had gotten worse. It became even more prone to frizz, it tangled easily, it was drier than ever before. My split ends were so atrocious that you could pull on them and they would just snap off. I wasn't enjoying my waist-length hair anymore. I occasionally continued my 1 centimeter trims, then I decided to get my first decent trim at the hairdresser's. This set me back about 2 inches, and with it I got some thin bangs cut in. This was a whole new look for me and I actually loved it. But my hair was still pretty bad, even though it was trimmed. The following months I bought hair serums and expensive shampoos and conditioners. I used deep conditioning treatments and oils. I continued with my hair care methods and still barely used any heat or styling tools. But to no avail. My hair was changing for the worse and it was getting me down. It got me down every day. There was not a single day that went by that I didn't feel irritated with my hair. My hair, which had always been straight, was going wavy in strange places. Strange kinks developed in my hair when it air dried, and I had heavy frizz just around one section of my head, it seemed. I thought this might be the regrowth line from the keratin treatment, but this was almost 2 years after that. I started using an expensive boar bristle brush, which are said to be the best for your hair, but that made it worse. My hair became static after brushing it, which never seemed to happen before. It can't have been my diet. I keep hydrated, eat fruits and vegetables, some dairy products, fish and meats on occasion, so I should be getting all my vitamins and minerals. The only thing I completely cut out of my diet was pork and whole milk, which I replaced with soya milk. I did go through some pretty bad emotional stress throughout that year, which could have affected the way my hair grew the following year. I started looking into science, reasons for static and frizzy hair. I posted my hair story on hair forums and Facebook beauty pages. I was in desperation for an answer. But still, no solid answers. And finding information on the science of hair seemed impossible. I thought surely there must be people who specialize in the science of hair, right? I even googled hair scientists, but it just came up with hairdressers and hair transplant surgeons. Even hairdressers, supposedly knowledgeable in hair, couldn't give me any basic information other than, your hair type is fine and dry. But what does that mean? One night, I was so frustrated that it brought me to tears. Now, it may seem silly to cry about hair, but imagine working towards a dream for 5 years only to be worse off than before. It felt like such a failure. My hair didn't make me feel pretty. I opened up to my mum about how much my hair struggle was affecting me. And bless her heart, she booked me a hair appointment the very next day to see her hairdresser. This is my hair prior to going to the hair salon to try and figure out what's going on with this mess. I'm not happy with it. I got a deep conditioning treatment, a blow dry, about an inch cut off, and I explained to my hairdresser my struggles with my hair. Although still the only advice she could give me was my hair type and to use more deep conditioning treatments. As if I hadn't tried that. My hair looked lovely for a few days and I did feel a little bit better, but after my first wash, my hair was back to its previous state again. I did find one thing that worked though. The silk wrap straightening method was the only thing I found that made my hair remotely bearable. And I loved this method, but it did take a lot of time. I didn't always get it quite right and it wasn't very practical. If I failed to do this before bed, it's settled. I'm gonna have a bad hair day tomorrow. I was beginning to lose hope. But then one day, a blessed person in the comments mentioned that my hair might be type 2B, 2C. Of all my years of hair care research, I'd never come across the term 2B, 2C. What on earth was this phenomenon? That's when I discovered the hair type scale. Where have you been? Where have you been all my life? This ultimately led me to discover the curly girl method, which is a completely different way for caring for one's hair. There were all kinds of rules and science that I'd never considered before. So, though my hair wasn't curly, perhaps I'd give it a try. After an interesting yet somewhat disappointing attempt, I discovered that there was some natural wave to my hair, but the curly girl method had left my hair a mess. And yes, I really needed to give it the commitment of a few more months to see a pleasant enough difference. But the truth was, I didn't want wavy hair. I wanted my straight hair back. So I decided I would use the rules and the science and the ingredient guides from the curly girl method, but apply them to straight hair instead. But first, I wanted to do the unthinkable. At this point, my hair was a dead weight. This is what it looked like, just air drying naturally. I mean, come on. It was pretty humid on this day, but I mean, look at it. It still remains a mystery to me how it managed to get itself worse after all the years of trimming and... Anyway, the length wasn't inspiring to me anymore, and the condition was the most dire it has ever been. What once was my obsession was now irritating just to catch a glance of in the mirror. It was time to cut my hair. After watching Clueless, I decided Cher Horowitz had the perfect hair. so I would cut it to her length. Though this might not be drastically short for most people, it's actually the shortest I have ever cut my hair. Okay, I am on my way to get my hair cut. I'm kind of nervous because I barely ever go to the hairdressers, and I'm getting like quite a lot of length taken off. It's going to be like to here. So it's like the biggest cut I've ever had. So I'm a little bit like reluctant to do it, but also I'm so sick and tired of my hair that it just needs to be done. It's such bad quality. It's so dry, dead. So we're going to go sort this out and start again. So I booked my appointment and then my hair was short. So here I am starting my brand new hair journey. But this time I've done what I should have done all those years ago. But you know what? I kind of like it. Yeah, the slinky dinky effect did wear off after the first wash, but my hair feels happier. It's lighter and so much healthier. It still has a long way to go, and I do still get the odd frizzy bad hair day. Generally, my hair is still dry and prone to frizz, so I do continue to use my silk wrap method every night, but it's a heck of a lot thicker and bouncier, and it feels so much healthier, like a new me. My new plan is to continue learning about and properly caring for my hair, trimming it, deep conditioning, documenting my progress, learning about ingredients and guiding it in the right direction. But from a better starting point this time. Though long hair will always be an obsession of mine, my goal now is not for length, but for quality. And I think my hair will thank me for it. So here's some calculations for you. It took 1 year and 10 months of 1 centimeter trims from the start of my journey to get to waist length. It took 10 months of 1 centimeter trims to get from this length to waist length. It's been 4 years since reaching waist length. It's been 2.5 years from getting my keratin straightening treatment. It was 5 years and 10 months from starting my journey to starting again. And it's been 1 month since starting my new hair journey. So let's do this together. Let's find new methods for growing our hair and stick with me on my journey. I hope you'll subscribe. If you like the video, please like it. It helps me a lot. I really want to continue making monthly videos about my hair, its progress, doing length checks, and just sharing with you what I've been doing and how my hair changes, hopefully. So please stick with me. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.